Hello everyone, this is LeetCode problem number 6, Zigzag conversion. So here we are given a string, PayPal is hiring, and then it is said that it is written in a zigzag manner, and then we have to read it row wise. So basically when they say zigzag, this is what they mean. This is how it is written, right? Okay, and then what they are asking us to do is to read it in a row manner. So like this is given and I'm supposed to read it like this. So basically my output should be PAHNAPLSIIGYIR. Is it correct? Yeah, this is correct. This is the output that even they have given, right? So now if we don't overcomplicate it, what am I gonna do is that I'm gonna take I'm gonna iterate through the string which is given, and I'm gonna put the character in the required row. Okay, and then obviously I'll change the direction when I reach the last row. This is what it means by this. When I have reached the row where row is equals to nums row minus 1, I'll change the direction. That means I'll say dir is equals to -1. That means we will start going up. Okay, let's do a dry run so that we understand it in a little bit better. Currently my index is 0. The character is P, what I have in my hand, and row right now is 0. I'll initiate the row with the 0, and direction obviously we are going down, so it's +1. Now action is nothing but append. So this is gonna be row 0, this is gonna be row 1, and this is gonna be row 2. Okay, so to my R0 I'm gonna append P, which is what was given. Then once I have appended, once this is done, I have pushed back. Is my row equals to 0, 0? Yes, it is. So my direction will be 1, and my row after performing the operation would be nothing but row plus dir, which is nothing but 1 again, because my direction was 1, right? Now I move to index 1, and the character I have in hand is A. Now row before this operation is 1, right? I'm taking this one from here, and then what is the operation that I'm performing? So I'll basically push first. So my R1 is nothing but A. Yep. Now is my row equal to 0, 0? No. Is my row equals to nums row? Here they had given 3. Nums row minus 1 is nothing but 2. Is it equal to 2? No, it is not equal to 2. So my row after this is nothing but 2, because it is row plus direction. So R plus direction was 1 from the last, so now my row is this, and my direction remains same. Okay, now again my index is 2. I am currently the character that I have in hand is Y. Now the row before this was 2, and my direction from the previous one was +1 itself. In row 2 I will append Y. Now row after. Now is my row equals to nums row minus 1? Yes, it is. So that means my direction will become -1, and my row will become row plus dir, which is 2 plus of -1, which is nothing but 1. That means I am at this point, and now I have change of direction. right? So now I am at index 3. Character I have at hand is P. Row from the previous operation is nothing but 1. Direction from previous operation is nothing but -1. And now my R1, like obviously I'll push this element. My R1 had A, and now I will append the P which currently I have in hand, right? Now is my row is equals to 0? No, it is not. Is my row is equals to num rows minus 1? Nope, it is not. So the row will be row plus dir, which is nothing but 1, plus of -1, which is nothing but 0, and the direction will remain same. Now I come here, character in hand I have is A again, and row from my previous operation is nothing but 0, and the direction from previous operation I have is -1. Okay, now I will append like this line basically. Yeah, so I had P and I'm gonna append A to it. Now what is my row after this? Now my row is equals to 0? Yes, it is. Oopsie. Yes, it is. That means my direction changes to 1 again. I'm here, and when I say 1, that means now I have to start going down, right? And row is equals to row plus dir. That means this also becomes 1. Okay. Now again we move the index, and we are like at 5. Letter in hand I have is L. Row from previous operation I have 1, and direction from previous operation I have +1. Now my R1 was AP and it appends L, so now it becomes L. Now is row is equals to 0? No, it is not. Is row equals nums row minus 1? Nums row minus 1 is basically 2, so nope, it is not. So my row becomes row plus dir, which is nothing but 2 again, and my direction remains same. Okay, moving to next index, which is I. So currently I have I at hand. From previous operation I have 2, direction I have +1, and then this is R2. R2 I had Y, and I will be added in this. Now row after this. Is my row equals to nums row minus 1? Yes. Direction becomes -1, and my row becomes 1, because 2 minus 1 is nothing but 1, right? Yes. Now again I move index, we come to 7th index. Character in hand I have is S. Row from previous operation I have is 1. Direction after, like before the previous operation, is nothing but -1. My R1 becomes APL S. Okay, this is P, my bad. So yeah, it becomes APLS. Okay, row is not equals to 0, row is not equal to 2. My direction was -1 itself, so my row becomes 0. Okay, yeah. Moving index, we come to H. row from previous operation I have 0, direction was -1, row 0 is nothing but I had PA, I will append H to that, and now as my row equals 0, direction becomes 1. I'm basically here for my reference here, and row after is nothing but row plus 3, which is again 1. Nice. Okay, I move the index, I am at 9, letter in hand I have is I, my row from previous operation is 1, direction is again 1, and my row 1 had A, P, L, S. This will be appended by I. Now row is not equal to 0, row is not also equal to 2, so row becomes row plus direction, direction was 1, and 1 plus 1 is nothing but 2. Now I move to 10th index, letter in hand I have is R, row from previous is 2, direction is 1, and row 2 will be Y, I, R. Okay, row is equals to num rows -1, which is nothing but 2, so direction changes to -1, and row changes to 2 minus 1, which is nothing but 1. So basically, since direction changes here, I am at this point. Again, index moves, letter in hand I have is I, row from the previous one I had is 1, direction I have -1. Now R1 I had A, P, L, S, I. This I would be appended, and then my row would be row plus dir. There was -1 itself, row is gonna be 0. Cool. I come to 12th index, letter in hand I have is N, row from previous is 0, direction is -1, row 0 is P, A, H, and will be added row after, so I have row is equals to 0, direction becomes direction becomes 1, right? Yeah, because I'm here and now I have to go down, so yes, direction becomes 1, and now row is equals to row plus direction, 0 plus 1 is nothing but 1. Now I come to my last index. Yes, it is 13, and letter in hand I have is G, row from previous operation is nothing but 1, direction is also +1, so R1 is nothing but A, P, L, S, I, G. Yes, and then okay, so yes, my direction is +1 itself, it remains, since row is not equal to 0, neither it is equal to 2, and my row becomes 2. And now I don't have any characters, so my for loop stops over here. Now if you see, now my answer is very clear, right? All I have to do is that I just have to print the answer, right? I have to print R0, R1 and R2, right? If I print this in sequence, I will have my answer. My R0 is PAHN, my R1 is APLSIIG, and my R2 is nothing but YIR, which is exactly the same output we have. Okay, so yeah, this was about the dry run of this problem. What we'll do, we'll try to code it now so that it becomes even clearer, and there will take care of two edge cases as well, right, which are like just very easy to understand. Okay, let's code now. So in this one edge case would be if my if the number of rows in which I'm supposed to read it is equals to 1, or if my number of rows are greater than the size of the string itself, then I would return my string, right? Like I can just return it as it is. So would be size s dot size, yes, size, yep. In both these cases I can just return my string s. Now what we had discussed was is that for each character in string we will be pushing it back in the row and then we'll read the rows. So first we'll create vector of string and we'll call it rows. Vector of string num rows, okay, of size num rows, because these are the number of rows that we are supposed to read in. We'll initialize the row count with 0 and direction will first keep it positive. That means we'll be going in the downward direction. Okay, now like we had discussed, for each character in string, for char C and S, we will in rows of row will push back this character. Oopsie, we'll push back our character C. Once we have pushed back, we'll see if my row is equals to 0. If it is equals to 0, we'll change the direction to positive. Else, if my rows is equals to nums row minus 1, at that time also we'll change the direction. It is num rows minus 1. Oopsie. Yeah, that time also I'll set the direction to minus 1. Okay, else I can just keep increasing my row by the direction, like this will just take me to the next row. this is the main logic that we were supposed to perform. Now for the answer, we'll just create a new string named ans and we will reserve the size of the string. Oh, why does it reserve? Okay, s dot size and for auto in for each row in rows, my answer will be answer plus r, and then I can just return this answer. Let me see if it works or not. Okay, yep, this is working. Let's try submitting it. Okay, yep, this works. Thank you everyone for watching.